Namo Om Vishnupadaya
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale
Krishna Prestaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Swamin iti namine
Swamin iti namine
Namaste Saraswate Deve
Namaste Saraswate Deve
Gauravani Pracharine
Gauravani Pracharine
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Nirvishesha Sunyavadi
Paschatya Deshatarine
Paschatya Deshatarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadara
Sri Advaita Gadadara
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
So today we'll be starting with chapter 3 called Karma Yoga. So in this specifically, Arjuna became confused with instructions what he had received from Lord Krishna. So to clarify his confusion, he is putting forward such an arguments. He wanted Krishna to specifically guide him what is best for him. Because in 7 shlokas, Krishna had given the entire Bhagavad-Gita in essence. So Arjuna appears to be, he could not grasp that message. So he wanted more elaboration. See, or else what happens, Bhagavad-Gita will not come out for us. Or else by chapter 2, Bhagavad-Gita would have been finished. So Arjuna, acting like a common man, is requesting Lord Krishna to elaborate on this subject so that on behalf of him, all of us in the future will get benefit out of it. So till now, what has happened in chapter 2, Krishna had given various processes of information. So there, 2 specific verses Arjuna got confused with. So all of you can keep Bhagavad Gita, or you can keep holding a Bhagavad Gita next to you.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Please open 2.49.
Yes, Prabhu.
So it says, Durena hi avaram karma.
Right.
What does that mean?
Discard abominable activities.
By using your intelligence, discard what is unwanted things. That is buddhi yoga. By buddhi yoga, you unwanted karma kanda to be kept away. And in the 51 verse, if you see what is there in the 51.
Karmajam buddhi yukta hi palam tattvakta manishinam janma bandhan vinirmuktam padam gacchanta anamayam.
Read the translation part.
The wise engaged in devotional service take refuge in the Lord and free themselves from the cycle of the birth and death by renouncing the fruits of action in the material world.
Okay.
Instead, they can attain the state beyond all this.
So here Krishna is communicating with intelligence, leave away karmakanda system, accept devotional service, and take shelter of the Lord so that you can become liberated from this cycle of birth and death and go back home, back to Godhead. This is the intention of Lord Krishna. Now Arjuna, he got confused with the subject here. That's what he is presenting. All of you can repeat after me the verses chanting. Arjuna vacha.
Arjuna vacha.
Jayasi chet karmanaste.
Jayati chet karmanaste.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Tatkim karmani gore mam.
Tatmin karmani gore ma.
Niyojayashi Keshava.
Niyojayasi
Niyogayasi
Keshava.
Keshava.
Once again. Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna
Arjuna
Vacha.
Vacha.
Jayasi Chet Karmanaste.
Jayasi
Jayasi
Chet
Chet
Karmanaste.
Karmanaste.
Mata Buddhir Janardana.
Mata
Mata
Buddhi
Buddhi
Janardana.
Janardana.
Atkim Karmani Gore Mam.
Tatkim
Atkim
Karmani
Karmani
Gore Mam.
Gorena.
Niyojayashi Keshava.
Niyojayasi
Niyojayasi
Keshava.
Keshava.
See, here two specific words about Lord Krishna have been used. One is called Keshava, another is called Janardana. So, do you know what is the meaning of this Keshava?
Who killed Keshi demon? Right, Prabhu?
No, if he had killed Keshi demon, it will be Keshini Sudana, that the word is used in Bhagavad-Gita elsewhere.
No idea.
So, Acharyas have explained this word Keshava is Ka Isha. If you break it in Sanskrit, Ka and Isha. Ka means Lord Brahma, Isha means Lord Shiva. So one who is master of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, he is known as Keshava. That is the specific meaning they say. And Janardana means one who is well-wisher of all living entities. One who is desiring their ultimate benefit. That's why Lord is known as Janardana. So, Arjuna is asking, Jayasi Chet Karmanaste. Mata Buddhir Janardana. Tatkim Karmani Gore Mam Niyojyashi Keshava. If you think Jayasi, Karmanaha Mata Buddhir Janardana. If Karmana Buddhi is intelligence, intelligence is superior to Karmanaha, then why are you asking me to engage in activities? Because buddhi means not any activity. You have to sit in one place and start meditating. But you are asking me to engage in the fight. You are saying buddhi is better than karmana. So why are you engaging in this ghastly warfare? Oh Lord Krishna, this is what his intention is. Oh Janardana, oh Keshava, why do you urge me to engage in this ghastly warfare? Tat kim karmani gore mam. If you think that intelligence is better than fruit work, Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir. So buddhi is better than karmanaha. Then why are you engaging me in this ghastly warfare? This is the specific question asked by Arjuna. The significance of this question. So what did he understand about Krishna consciousness? Arjuna. So Arjuna is, from the Arjuna's perspective, he was thinking Krishna consciousness to be something like an inertia and has to be practiced in a secluded place. Because buddhi means you have to meditate upon the Lord, and for meditating you have to go to a secluded place where you can focus upon the Lord. And he also thought Krishna conscious means something like retirement from active life. And the practice of penance and austerity at a secluded place is the best process. This is the best way how to practice it. So by using this argument, Arjuna skillfully wanted to avoid fighting as an excuse. But being a sincere student, he had placed the matter before Lord Krishna, the supreme spiritual master, and he was asking him what is the best way to come out of this situation. So he's saying next, what is the conflict? What he is undergoing? All of you can repeat the verse after me. Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Buddhim mohayashiva me.
Buddhim
mohayashiva
me.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Yena shreyoham apnuyam.
Yena shreyoham apnuyam.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Buddhim mohayashiva me.
Buddhim mohayashiva me.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Tadekam vada nishchitya.
Yena shreyoham apnuyam.
Yena shreyoham apnuyam.
Vyamishreneva vakyena. Your vakya means your discourse is confusing. Vyamishreneva. It is bewildering to me. Buddhi mohayashivame, by your equivocal instructions. You are saying A is also better, B is also better. But I could not understand which is better. Buddhi mohayashivame. My intelligence is becoming bewildered. Tadekam vada nishchitya. Definitively ascertain what is best. One thing that is best. Yena shreyoham apnuyam. That which is beneficial for me, please decisively instruct me that one thing. This is what Arjuna is saying. My intelligence is bewildered. Buddhi mohayashivame. By your equivocal instructions. Vyamishreneva vakyena. Therefore, please tell me decisively. Tadekam vada nishchitya. What is most beneficial for me? Yena shreyoham apnuyan. So that I can practice it to the perfect process. So till now, in the previous chapter, whatever has been communicated, Krishna had given various paths, starting with Sankhya Yoga. Then he explained about Buddhi Yoga, the concept of Varnashrama Dharma, and he had explained the process of controlling the mind and senses by intelligence, Chita Prajna. He gave work without fruit to desire, Nishkama Karma, and he explained about neophyte process to advanced devotees. So many information has been given. So Arjuna got confused somewhere in the process because of various paths. He was thinking all paths lead to same destination. But Krishna had no intention to confuse Arjuna by any jugglery of words. Only thing is, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness either by inertia or active service. So Arjuna, by his questions, is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all the students in the future who seriously wants to understand the mystery of Bhagavad-Gita. For the benefit of all of us, Arjuna is acting like a common man and becoming confused so that we all get this message of Bhagavad-Gita. Okay, next, third verse. All of you can repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Lokesmin vividanishta.
Lokesmin vividhanishta.
Pura prokta mayanaga.
Pura prokta
mayanama.
Jnana yogena sankyanam.
Jnana
Yogena Sankhyanam.
Karma yogena yoginam.
Karma
Yogena Yoginam.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri
Shri
Bhagavan
Bhagavan Vacha.
Lokesmin vividanishta.
Lokesmin
vividhanishta.
Pura prokta mayanaga.
Pura
Pura
prokta
prokta mayanaka.
Jnana yogena sankyanam.
Jnana
Jnana
yogena
Yogena
sankyanam.
Sankhyanam.
Karma yogena yoginam.
Karma
Karma
yogena.
Yogena Yoginam.
See, Krishna started answering to that question. He is saying, Lokesmin Dvivida Nishta. There are two categories of people who are perfectionists. Pura, Prokta, Mayanaga. I have already explained to you about these two categories of people. One, Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. Those who follow the process of Jnana Yoga, Sankhya philosophy, analyzing the matter and spirit. Karma Yogena Yoginam. And devotees, those who follow the devotional service. So the Blessed Lord said, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, O sinless Arjuna, O Anaga, I have already explained, Pura Prokta Mayanaga, that there are two classes of men who are realized, who realize the self. That is, Lokesmin Vivida Nishta. That Nishta people who have realized the self. Some are inclined to understand him by empirical philosophical speculation, Jnana Yogena Sankyanam, and others are inclined to know him by devotional work, Karma Yogena Yogina. This is the specific translation. So who are these two categories of people? Sankhya Yoga and Buddhi Yoga. So Jnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga is a linking process of knowledge. Karma Yoga or devotional service is the linking process of devotion. Now specifically, what is this Sankhya Yoga? Sankhya Yoga means It is a subject matter for people who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. They try to analyze matter. They come to a conclusion after analyzing matter. Matter has no active principle. It is the soul which is moving this matter. So they analyze matter, spirit, and then come to a conclusion that Paramatma is the basis, and because of him, the Atma and matter are coordinated. So this is their philosophy after Sankhya. But by working by the principles of Buddhi Yoga, one can be relieved from the bonds of karma, and there is no flaw in the process. So Buddhi is such a way, Buddhi Yoga is such a way we become cleansed up of all our karmic reactions. We become pure. And in this process, there is no flaw. Even if there is a small failure, Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. It is even a little endeavor on this path can save us from the most dangerous type of fear. So explaining about what is this Buddhi Yoga means, in second chapter, 61st sloka, it is to depend completely on the Supreme Lord, and in this way, all senses can be brought under control very easily. So this is how our actual activity happens. By engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, Hrishikena Hrishikeshu Sevanam, then we become a perfect personality. Senses become purified, mind becomes steady, intelligence becomes determined, and soul becomes connected to the Lord. This is Buddhi Yoga process. So both the yogas are interdependent. Prabhupada gives an analogy as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment, and philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Both of them go hand in hand. So the whole idea is to understand the relation between the self and the super self. The actual position that Atma is a servant of the Supreme Lord. And the ultimate goal of both of them is to become Krishna conscious, to reach Krishna. But one is an indirect process, Sankhya Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga is a direct process. So like indirect process is philosophical speculation by which gradually one comes to the point of Krishna consciousness. Because after studying the entire nature, Prakriti, Jiva, all these things and all, you come to the conclusion that Krishna is the Supreme. Then you surrender to Krishna. In Bhakti Yoga, you directly start from the point Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we have to surrender. So one process is, the direct process is, it is everything is connected with Krishna in Krishna consciousness. So the benefit of acting in devotion is, it does not depend upon purifying the senses by a philosophical process. The naturally process itself will purify. The other thing, you have to do an extraneous endeavor to purify your senses in Sankhya system. So that's why Krishna consciousness is itself a purifying process. And it is a direct method, and it is simultaneously easy and sublime. The specialty of Krishna consciousness is explained in 4 words. It is purifying, it is direct, it is easy, and it is sublime. These are the 4 specific characteristics of Krishna consciousness, Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, or devotion process. So in our some stories what we come across, we would have heard of Tenali Rama story. How many of you know of Tenali Rama stories?
Very few stories, Prabhu.
Okay. So see, do not take it literally. You understand the principle, how things happen in this world. So during Krishna Devaraya's time, every day he used to present a challenge. So he wanted to see who among his people, ministers, are intelligent enough. So he said, in the center of the court, there are 2 identical pots hanging from the top. One is having filled with gold coins, and other one is an empty pot. And he said, one who is able to identify the correct pot, he will get all the gold. But others who are not able to identify it, or one who failed in the process, he has to be put into punishment, and he has to pay a fine to the king for failing in the process. So initially, when the competitions were held, everybody used to aspire and they used to think that they can win the money and everything and all. But later, as the days started progressing, every week there will be a test, and every week the test severity was increasing more and more. So everybody started refraining from participating in these tests and all. Only Tenali Rama was able to successfully decode all the tests, and he was becoming richer and richer. So obviously all the other people, they were becoming envious, jealous of Tenali Rama. So in the opposite group, who is a competitor to Tenali Rama, there is a person called by Chatur Pandit. So he thinks by his intelligence and by his capacity, he can outwit any others. That's why he's called as Chatur. So he was the chief competitor to Tenali Rama. So when this challenge was thrown open, everybody was silent. Nobody was coming forward to identify. So then Tenali Rama, as usual, he came forward. He spent 5 minutes watching the situation, closely watching the pots, moving around all the situations and all, moving around the pots and keenly observing about the situation. And he went to a nearby guard, took his spear and poked one of the pot, and immediately there was a hole, and all the gold coins was like a rain of shower on Tenali Rama. So when this was done, king became very happy, and he said, well done. How are you able to identify that this pot is full? So then Tenali Rama started explaining, please forgive me, sir. This is the easiest of the challenges till now, whatever I have faced. That's why I was able to confidently break this pot. The trick was not to look at the pots themselves, but the ropes to which the pot was tied, suspended. Because the pot with the gold is having heavy weight, the ropes are with full tension, the rope connected to that pots. And the pot that is empty, that is not that tensely tied up to the base. So by seeing the tension in the rope, I could identify this pot is the one with weight. That's why I'm able to poke it correctly. So everybody appreciated Tenali Rama's intelligence. Just then a messenger came to the court and he informed Sainyadipati that he had a baby boy. So everybody became very happy, and he announced in the court that he wanted to take leave because he was delivered with a baby boy, and he had to rush his home to celebrate the occasion, and he has to be with his family. Then the king said, it is very good news, and it will be very good that after our activities, we'll be visiting your house in the evening. And he was saying all the ministers should also accompany, and we should also enjoy the happiness whatever Sainyadipati is having. So then Chatur Pandit and Tenali Rama, everyone said, yes, sir, we'll also join you. So Chatur Pandit, he is some kind of astrologer. No, he's not a pakka astrologer, but what he does is he artificially glorifies somebody, and he makes them happy, and he takes money out of them. Or if that person is not becoming convinced because of his artificial inflammatory words and all, he tries to scare him by saying this is wrong, that is wrong, you do this, you have to do this, or else you'll have problems like that. Allah used to scare him by wrong instructions and take money from him. So anyway, he was enjoying that money. So today he thought this is a good opportunity for me to flatter this person, and today I'm going to say the Jataka of that boy, and I'm going to get good money from the Sainyadipati. So later in the evening, both Tenali Rama and Chatur Pandit along with the king visited the general's house. And many other ministers were also there. The king's entourage, everybody was there. The baby was sleeping next to the mother. Then Chatur Pandit, he started his business speech. He started informing the general. Just by the looks on the face of the baby, I can tell him he would be a great general like yourself. He will win many more battles and vanquish the enemies, and he will spread the name and fame of Vijayanagara far and wide. By his nose, I can predict he'll be having very good name. By his dimple on his chins, I can protect that he will be having a very happy married life. He will have many sons to continue your family name. The king was also very much pleased, and he asked Tenali, what do you say about the baby's future? But before Tenali could say anything, Chatur Pandit, with his little proudness, he started saying, come on, Tenali, you can correctly identify the pot of gold from observation. So similarly, you can also identify the baby's future by looking on him keenly. You should look around the baby, you should look around the situations, not only the baby, you should look around for you to predict. Like that arrogantly he was saying. So Tenali had a smile. He said to the king, my dear sir, the pot of gold was a lifeless entity. But a human being is alive and he is completely different. So we should not make simplistic predictions and become stupid. There are many factors which consider how a person is going to lead their life. So I am confident of my abilities about the nature of my observation and the nature. But I am not arrogant or I am not stupid to claim unnecessary things what this baby can do in the future. But some people may make an exploitation by saying out of greed or fear of others, they can make business out of it. But as a keen observer, I never attempt to make such futile predictions. So then Chatur Pandit, he started saying, he started insulting. This is a lack of excuse. This is an excuse to just say you don't have knowledge and abilities. Gurus like me are learned in the science of prediction, astrology, and have been blessed by divine abilities. He started boasting himself. At that time, Tenali Rama, he bowed to the king and said, sir, I only have one keen observation. As a humble servant, I make this statement that this is not a boy, but a girl. Chatur Pandit was shocked. At the time, the general also mentioned, sir, I was about to mention the same thing. The person who carried this messenger in the court had got confused that it was a baby boy. It is actually a baby girl. So when he said this, the king turned towards Chatur Pandit. At that time, Chatur Pandit was not there anywhere. He was falling at the feet of Krishna Deva Raya and begging for forgiveness. The next day, Krishna Deva Raya issued a proclamation in his kingdom that people should not make falsely predictions and play with people's lives. So what did you understand from this story? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
What did you understand from this story?
If you know the truth or fact, then only you can come up or you can speak. Otherwise, being a silent is much better than telling something lies.
No, we should not fake around and we should be straightforward in our communication.
Yes.
And whenever it is required, then only we should speak, or else we should not speak.
Right.
Any other points, please? Any other points, or shall I proceed? Okay, let us start with the next verse. All of you can repeat. Na karmanam anaramban.
Na karmanam anaramban.
Naishkarmyam purusho asnute.
Naishkarmyam
Purushosmite.
Nacha sannyasana deva. Siddhim samadhi gacchati.
Samadhi gacchate.
Na karmanam anaramban. Naishkarmyam purusho asnute.
Naishkaryam purushosmate.
Nacha sannyasana deva.
Sannyasana deva.
Siddhim samadhi gacchati.
Siddhim samadhi gacchati.
So Krishna is saying, na karmanam anarambam. So without doing the prescribed duties, non-performance of prescribed duties, naishkarmyam purusha asnute, one cannot achieve perfection. Nacha sannyasana deva, just by accepting sannyasa, siddhim samadhi gacchati, one does not attain perfection in life. So, not by merely abstaining from work, na karmanam anarambam, can one achieve freedom from reaction, naishkarmyam purusho asnute. Nor by renunciation alone, nacha sannyasana deva, can one attain perfection, siddhim samadhi gacchati. So this is the instant. Krishna is, so Prabhupada is saying when to accept renounced order of life. There are many people who falsely claim that they are sannyasis and they have renounced the world and all. But in what context and when is their sannyasa perfect? So Prabhupada is explaining. So when to accept renounced order of life? Upon being purified by the discharge of prescribed duties. So only then they can accept sannyasa. And what is the purpose of prescribed duties? To purify the hearts of materialistic men. So what happens when one accepts prematurely sannyasa without purification? It simply becomes a disturbance to the social order. They cannot control their senses. They get greedy. They get sexually attracted and many other unwanted things they will be carrying on. So for those who have prematurely accepted sannyasa. So what is the benefit of buddhi yoga? By practicing. So even without discharging the prescribed duties, whatever he is able to advance is accepted by the Lord. So even though he would not have achieved perfection, Lord accepts whatever stage he is, and swalpam apyasya dharmasya, a little endeavor is always a better path on his spiritual process. Okay. Next, Krishna is saying the nature of the jiva. He is explaining in this verse here. All of you can repeat. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi.
Nahi kaschit kshanamapi.
Jatu tishtati akarmakrat.
Jatu
tishtati karma ho krot.
Karyate hi avashak karma.
Karyate avashak karma.
Sarvaha prakriti jair gunaihi.
Sarvaha prakriti jair gunaihi.
Nahi kaschit kshanamapi.
Nahi kaschit kshanamapi.
Jatu tishtati akarmakrat.
Jatu tishtati karma krot.
Karyate hi avashak karma.
Karyate avashak karma.
Sarvaha prakriti jair gunaihi.
Sarvaha prakriti jair gunaihi.
So all men are forced to act helplessly. Karyatehi avashak karma. According to the impulses born of the modes of material nature. Sarvaha prakriti jair gunaihi. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something. Jatu tishtati akarmakrut, not even for a moment. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi. So the nature of the living entity or the nature of the soul is it is always active and cannot stop even for a moment. So it is to be always engaged in good work of Krishna consciousness, or else it will be engaged in occupations dictated by Maya. Because by nature it is very active. It has to be engaged in some service. That service should be, let it do it in Krishna conscious activities, or else it will engage in Maya activities, and by which it will become bound up in this material world. So then why should one engage in prescribed duties mentioned in the Shastras? Because in contact with matter, the spirit soul acquires material modes. Because we have accepted this body, we think we are a product of this body. We think I am this body. So to purify such affinities from the soul, it is necessary to engage in prescribed duties, by which he will be able to come out of this bodily concept of life. But if the soul is engaged in his natural function of Krishna consciousness, whatever he is able to do is good for him. That is the benefit of Krishna consciousness. So quoting from first canto, 5th chapter of 17th shloka, as Narada Muni was explaining, Tektva sadharmam charanambujam harer, bhajan apakvo atapato yato yadi, means apakvaha, means he is not fulfilled in his devotional service. Still, he is a better personality and he is never a loser than a person who is not a devotee, but he is perfect in his process. He is simply a waste of time. And he has not benefited for himself or any of his family members. So if one accepts Krishna consciousness, there is no loss or there is no evil. So finally, Krishna is saying, or Prabhupada is updating to us, sannyasa or any purificatory process is to help reach the ultimate goal of becoming Krishna conscious, without which everything is considered a failure. Shramaeva hi kevalam. Okay, next Krishna is continuing the topic. All of you can repeat after me the verse. Karmendriyani samyamya.
Karmendriyani samyamya.
Yaste manasa smaran.
Yaste manasa smaran.
Indriyardan vimudatma.
Indriyadan vimudatma.
Mityachara saha uchyate.
Yacharaha sahuchyate.
Karmendriyani samyamya.
Karmendriyani samyamya.
Yayaste manasa smaran.
Yaste manasa smaran.
Indriyardan vimudatma.
Indriyadan vimudatma.
Mityachara saha uchyate.
Yacharaha sahuchyate.
So one who restrains the senses and the organs of action. Karma indriyani samyamya. But whose mind dwells on the sense objects. Yayaste manasa smaran. Indriyartan vimudatma. Certainly deludes himself. Mityachara sahuchyate and is called a pretender. Mityachara means pretender. So he is simply artificially claiming that he is liberated, but his mind is still contemplating on the sense objects. Then he is called as a pretender. So Prabhupada is explaining here how to purify one's existence. For sense enjoyment, one can act in any capacity of the social orders. But if one follows the rules and regulations of his particular status, he can make gradual progress in purifying his existence. That's why Varnashrama system is encouraged so that everybody becomes liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So who is the greatest cheater? So pretenders who speak on dry philosophy to bluff their sophisticated followers. One who makes a show of being an yogi while actually searching for objects of sense gratification, even though he sometimes speaks of philosophy. Both of them are called as greatest cheaters. And what is the value of his knowledge? Whatever he is speaking, his knowledge has no value because the effects of such a sinful man's knowledge are taken away by Maya. And his mind is always impure, and his show of yogic meditation has no value. So this is one more story in one context. There is, in a village, there were many yogis who had assembled there. There was a mela going on. So all of these have tremendous yogic power. So there was a river and all these people were camping near the river. So huge crowd of nearby villages, both men and women, had come there to assemble, to watch all the yogis meet and their demonstrations and all. At one particular point, a question arose in the conclave. Who among them was the most acceptable to the Lord? So everybody started interpreting this means one who is able to perform the most outstanding feats. So everybody started displaying their unique yogic power. One man got up and he said, I am the most one. I am the person who is most acceptable by the Lord. For I can walk on the water like ordinary people walk on the land. He swiftly started walking on the flowing river and he came back where he was standing. The people were very much astonished by this. Then a second person said, this is nothing. I can fly in the sky and come down to earth whenever I choose. So accordingly, he displayed, he was able to fly in the sky and he was coming back. The crowd started cheering mightily. Then a third person, he stood up and said, I am the most acceptable by the Lord, for I am the greatest astrologers. I know Trikala, I know past, present and future. He called some stranger from the crowd and he started explaining to him about his past. Then he said, yes, this is correct. Then he started explaining about his future also with confidence and accuracy. So people were very much astonished. They became amazed. Then a fourth person came forward and he said, fire cannot burn me. Let all of you arrange a bonfire. I shall prove it to you. So then he entered the fire and came back unhurt. Then all the people started there. Then all of them started appreciating one another. So next person claimed that he can stay alive even when he's buried underground. The another person said he can come out of prisons and any closed boxes also. So in that group, there was one old lady, a devoted lady. She came forward and she started speaking. My dear sirs, I wanted to tell you, though one who is very nearest to the lotus feet of the Lord. Please explain to me who is very dear to the Lord and who is who has taken the shelter of the Lord, she had asked. So everybody started staring at her. So everybody are asking, finally nobody gave answer. Then they all asked the old lady, please tell us. So we could not, the general public were saying that we could not accept who is the best personality or powerful man. So she started saying, one who is humbler is the greatest. The most difficult thing a man can perform is his subdue his ego and consider himself as a dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. So whatever these tantrics have done, it is simply a waste of mind, and they have endeavored so much time and losing all their endeavor not to focus upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and none of them are very dear to the Lord. So for those who are humbler, for them the doors of heaven are open. This is even in Bible says. So in the 13th chapter also, out of 20 items of knowledge, amanitvam, those who are humbler, humility is the basic principle for advancement in spiritual life. The items of knowledge, there also it is said. So this is the process. So we should not artificially fake around. We should practically try to serve the Lord and engage in his service so that we do not become carried away by our activities and become proud and lost in the process. Any questions, please? Okay, let us proceed. Next to last verse of this day. Yastu indriyani manasa.
Yastvindriyani manasa.
Niyamarabhate Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Karmendriyai karma yogam.
Karmendriyai karma yogam.
Asakta sa vishishyate.
Asaktaha sa vishishyate.
Yastu indriyani manasa.
Yastvindriyani manasa.
Niyamyarabhate Arjuna.
Niyamyarabhate Arjuna.
Karmendriyai karma yogam.
Karmendriyai karma yogam.
Asakta sa vishishyate.
Sakta vishishyate.
So on the other hand, he who controls the senses by the mind, yastu indriyani manasa niyamarabhyate Arjuna, O Arjuna. Karmendriyai karma yogam, his active organs in the works of devotion, without attachment, asaktaha, is by far superior. Sa vishishyate. So what is the goal of self-interest? Prabhupada explains, to become freed from this material bondage and enter into Vaikuntha. That should be the goal. It is called as Swartha Gati. The goal of one's self-interest is to reach Vishnu. And what is the purpose of Varnashrama Dharma? The whole institute of Varna and Ashrama is designed to help us to reach this goal. A householder also can reach this destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. So to achieve this, what one has to do? One can live a controlled life as prescribed in the Shastras, continue carrying out his business without attachment. Such a sincere person who follows his method is far better situated than the false pretender who adopts a show bottle spiritualism to cheat the innocent public. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur makes a statement, a sincere sweeper in the street is far better than a charlatan meditator. Because by his duty, he is becoming pure and pure than a yogi who is falsely claiming himself as liberated, but by his activities, he is becoming more and more entangled. So, any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga both same only, Prabhu?
Yes, Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga are same. It is two synonyms for the same word.
Prabhu, is Sankhya Yoga is comes under impersonalist, Prabhu?
Sankhya Yoga come under impersonalist. No, Sankhya Yoga are one way they are impersonalists also, one way they are a different set of people also who analyze the matter.
Prabhu, is Buddhism comes under impersonalist, Prabhu? No.
Who?
Buddhism.
Buddhism, they are voidist people. They are not even impersonalists. They are voidist.
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna, Prabhu.
Shankaracharya followers comes under which group, Prabhu?
Who?
Shankaracharya.
Shankaracharya, they are Mayavadis.
Okay.
They do not accept the existence of the Lord or anything and all. Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, that is their principle.
Okay, Prabhu. Thanks, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, yes, please.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhu.
Dhanavad.
Prabhu, actually, Sankhya Yoga means people who try to reach, get salvation by way of knowledge. Am I right?
Yes, they try to analyze the matter, but come to the conclusion that Lord is the basis for this entire creation. Then their
Okay.
Sankhya is correct. In Sankhya philosophy, there are two categories again. Impersonalist Sankhya philosophers and devotee Sankhya philosophers.
Okay, okay.
So in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada explains there are two Kapilas. One is atheistic Kapila and the Supreme Lord Kapila.
Okay, okay.
The Sankhya basis is based on the Supreme Lord Kapila, son of Devahuti.
Okay, okay. Again, two categories are there. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
So I'll show a small video. All of you can watch this. See how when Tantric people were there and Bhaktivinoda Thakur had handled him. If you have seen earlier, no problem. But if you have not seen, I will present this. So there was one circumstance in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's life. You have heard of the story of Vaishaki Shen. He's a tantric, a mystic yogi, who was able to do many miracles because of his mystic yoga. He used to enact that he is the God, he is Maha Vishnu. They have forged the scriptures saying that very soon there will be an incarnation of the Lord and he will clean up this whole world. They propagated among people that he is Maha Vishnu. In a jungle, he made a small temple and he himself is being worshipped there. People used to come by showing his miracles, all these things and all. People used to become fascinated. He used to sit erectly and in front of him there will be fire. He'll be bending into the fire. After some time, he will be getting out without nothing, no burns or anything. Like that, he used to do some miracles. People who become fascinated by these simple magic tricks and all, they become gullible. These people, when he started doing Maharasa, all the women, when they went there, he started sexually abusing them. And their chastity was trying to destroy, and the local people immediately complained to the district or British people who were ruling the Orissa state. So at that time, the commander-in-chief, when he received this case from that village, then he immediately assigned that to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was collector of Puri at that time. He was the magistrate, first-class magistrate of Puri. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was able to, because he's a pure devotee, he knows the situation, but he knows if there is a local following among the public, he should not disturb the sentiment, it will be revolution. Then he should also punish the person who is very sinful. Taking some officers, some 25 constables, he goes to the forest where this Tantric was there. So Tantric, he will be able to read others' minds, this Tantric, Vaishaki Sen. So immediately he started reading Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He started saying, you are so and so, you have come here for so and so purpose. All your people are hiding in the bushes there. So please don't do all of these things and all. I am the Supreme Lord. Like that he started glorifying himself in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was silent initially, but later he started scolding him. In a way, he was started preaching to him that you are insignificant person, how you can claim yourself to be God, all these things and all. But this person was acting very rudely. He started acting like that he is a Lord and all these things and all. At one particular point, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked him, if you are God, why are you staying here? You should come to Puri. Well, Jagannath is saying. Then he started saying, Jagannath is just a doll. I am the Supreme Lord. He started criticizing the God and he started claiming wrong things. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur became very angry because he is an offender. One thing is you are defaming the Lord, and second thing is you are trying to imitate the Lord. Both are very wrong perspectives and disturbing the social culture. And he declared, very soon I am going to kill all these Europeans. I am going to make this India free from this European culture. Because you are a very great person, then I will give you a very good post. He's like alluring Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was also very strongly preaching to him. So in the meantime, he thought, Bhaktivinoda Thakur thought, let us watch him for some time. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was visiting local villages and he was understanding from them what problem they had. So some intelligent people were explaining what the problem is, that this person is trying to take over their families, destroying the culture, making people foolish and sentimental. And after accumulating all the facts and figures, Bhaktivinoda Thakur decided, yes, this person is to be punishable. So he went to the Vaishakhi Sen and he started ordering that it is time now, you have to come to Puri, you have to be prosecuted. Then Vaishakhi Sen became very angry and he started abusing and he started resisting. He said, I'll see how you can move me out of here. Then all his people, all his supporters, they were all making like barricades, trying to stop police to come enter. They started attacking policemen, all these things and all. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur also came with 100 battalion armed with weapons and all, so that any resistance they have to be curbed down. So in the meantime, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was trying to preach him, to give him, sensitize him that what is the human form of life and how one has to become benefited. Don't waste running behind these magic powers and fooling people and wasting your endeavor in this life. If you give good instruction to a foolish person, he only becomes angry. All the people started following him and Bhaktivinoda Thakur started writing the judgment in the bullock cart itself, stating all the facts and all. The yogi wanted to show his powers. He said, you think you are supreme? No, you go home. You see what devastation I have done at your home. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur went home, his daughter was severely sick. So much so that nobody could understand what the reasons are. So many doctors had come, many people had come and checked, but they were not able to identify. So wife was very pleading. She said, please leave that person. Let us get rid of this case. See our family, how they are being disturbed. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, even if our entire family has to die, let us die. But that foolish person has to be punished. That person who had offended the Lord has to be punished. So for that I am ready to sacrifice my entire family. So miraculously in the next day morning that girl recovered and very soon she came back. So this prosecution went on for 21 days. So after 18th day, this Vaishakhi started showing severe, now I have seen on your family, now see on you. So as soon as Bhaktivinoda Thakur went home, he removed his kurta, he started feeling pain in his chest. It started increasing whole night. It was so severe that he was not able to tolerate. He was thinking how it is going to happen. Next day morning, till after 10 o'clock or something like that, the pain subsided. It was still there. After 10 o'clock, it was little less. Then he could not even walk. He had to be brought in palanquin to the court. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, no, I am not going to leave that person. I am going to see that today judgment has to happen. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur came and the judgment was passed that this person was offended and for he has to be jailed for so many months or years. For 18 months of strict imprisonment. He was about to be taken into the jail. There was one district medical officer by name Dr. Walters. He also knew that yogis and all, generally they store their yogic power in some part of the body. So this yogi had a long hair. Even though he was in the jail for 21 days, he did not eat, he did not drink water, but he was very strong and healthy. So he was able to manage himself because of his yogic powers. So immediately took one scissors and cut off his hair. As soon as the hair was cut off, all his yogic powers have vanished then and there. He became such a lean person, he has fell down and he has to be carried in a stretcher, this yogi, because immediately he lost all his capacity and all. And when he was put in jail, in very few months, he committed suicide by eating poison and he passed away because that yogic power is lost. So from this Acharya's pastimes and all, see, he was tested, but his determination that to execute the duty and punish the offenders, our commitment, how sincere we are, how committed we are, that is very important in devotion service.
Prabhu, I have one question, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hari Bol. Very nice.
Even today, in daily life, or we can see this kind of mystic powers, yogis, tantri, mantri, these things are still available, or is it real?
Yes, there are many people who do that. Only thing is, we should not become fascinated by them.
But it is affecting to the general people, right?
No, that what to do, but the people are there gullible, then these people will try to exploit.
Okay, but how they can do, Prabhu? Where they'll get the power?
This is a tapasya, Bhaiya. So that's what they had done, their austerity. This is one of the vidya, that the 8 kinds of mystic perfection. Anima, Lagima, Prapti, all these things are all there in this world.
Okay.
They're all there in the Vedic knowledge. By practicing, they will be able to become perfect.
Okay.
Like if you see, there are magicians, they do illusion. Not that they vanish or they create anything. It is only simply an illusion.
Okay.
How they are able to do? By their practice, they have perfected one step. They would have done 100 times or 200 times to become a perfect.
Okay.
That is the austerity what they have taken. So similarly, these tapasya people, by their yogic process, by the Vedic process, this is a yogic process by which they have developed this Ashtasiddhis.
Okay. But if we are, if someone is doing to you that kind of yantri or mantri, something, will that affect directly, or even though you are proceeding on your own ways, or you are doing your devotional service or something in your general life?
Material laws will act.
Okay.
Now it is up to you to respond to it or not.
If I didn't respond, let's say they did something that is affecting to my body, so I'll be feeling something sick or something.
Generally it is said, for a devotee, his determination is a basic principle. Outside people may try. So Lord will give you intelligence how to come out of this situation.
Okay. We should depend on Lord directly.
That is the primary aspect here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see that in villages, many people are facing problem with this. It's like you are growing in your own way, in the right way, but still there are people who want to pull you out from the right path or pull you out in the back, something. So with that, people are not understanding, even though they are the neighbors or someone is doing bad to you, but how it is affecting to you, that people are not understanding, and how to come out from that problem. Instead, they are trying to do against to them. It's like a war kind of thing. In villages, it is going.
So that's why we have to be intelligent enough. We have to propagate the real knowledge so that people become sensible and they reject all these unwanted people and all.
Okay. Fine, Prabhu. Thank you.
All of you are ready for one more video?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
One more doubt. As you were saying, tantric. So, Sai Baba and Ramana Maharshi. how can we categorize them? They are yogis.
Which Sai Baba are you saying about? That one,
Shirdi
Sai
yes,
Baba.
yes.
He's a
Shirdi
yogi.
Sai Baba.
He's a yogi.
Okay.
Raman Maharshi also, I heard he's a yogi category.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So today we had released one video from the temple about Lord Chaitanya's mercy to his grandmother. So this is the video.
Please make big screen, Prabhu.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he is merciful towards his devotees. There is one pastime. A few generations before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were all stayers of Orissa part, Yajigram. This is around 200 kilometers from Bhubaneswar. Yajigram means the place where sacrifices happened, Lord Varahadeva. So they were all residents of Yajigrama, but ardent devotees of Lord Jagannatha. So one day, Lord appeared in their dream and said, very soon I will be appearing in your family. So first he said, all of you move to Bengal. So they all their family members immediately packed their items and went to Bengal. Shailet is the place where they all stayed. There after some days they were started worshipping the Lord with unanimous bhakti. So Upendra Mishra, he was the grandfather of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his wife Shobha Devi. At that time they were all children. So the messages were coming from the family line, like very soon Lord will be appearing. So for generations they were thinking, when will Lord appear, when will Lord appear. So Upendra Mishra and Shobha Devi, so when they got married, so they were praying to Lord, and Lord again revived them that very soon he will be appearing. They have three children, Kansari Mishra, Paramananda Mishra and Jagannath Mishra. So Jagannath Mishra went to study under Nilambar Chakravarti in Mayapur, Navadvip area. So even Nilambar Chakravarti, when he got daughter Sachi Devi, he also did an astronomical calculation and he saw that their grandchildren will be equal to Lord Vishnu. So he was also very happy. So this family, they were waiting. After Jagannath Mishra's education, they found Sachi Devi is the most suitable candidate for Jagannath Mishra. So they came to have discussion with Nilambar Chakravarti. So in their family house, they were discussing in front of the deity temple there. So they mentioned their information that very soon Lord will be appearing in their family. Lord Jagannath had promised them. So when he heard that, then he also explained that he also had done a chart in their daughter's children. And he also said that there is a great personality, Lord Vishnu is going to appear in their family. Then both of them became very happy. They got ecstatic. They started embracing each other. They started doing kirtan. And they went to the house of the deity, and there they saw in that family room there was a deity of small Krishna Chandra. And he said, I'll give this deity as dowry along with my daughter. They were also very happy. So marriage was done. Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi got married, and they went back to their father's house, Shailet, Bangladesh. But after some time again Lord appeared to them and asked Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi to move back to Navadvip area. So at that time Shobha Devi took one commitment. So she said, when you have son who represents all the qualities, like that family secret was passed on to Sachi Devi, and said, that son who, when he comes, you make a promise, when he is able to walk himself, you have to send him to me so that I will be able to have the darshan of him before I pass. So they gave a commitment and they went back to Navadvip. So they were engaging in worship of the Lord, but Lord was not appearing. 8 daughters came and they all passed away. Then after much time, the elder son Vishwarupa, who took birth, then in 1486, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took birth. And Nilambar Chakravarti, he had done an astronomical chart and he has already declared this boy is Lord Krishna himself, Lord Jagannatha, non different from Krishna.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Shobha Devi, she was becoming old. She was waiting. When will that grandson come? When will that grandson come? So one day in her meditation, Lord came as Lord Jagannatha, and immediately he transformed himself into a sannyasi. And he started showing the divine form, the sannyasi gradient, that radiant look, the saffron robes, the sannyasa danda, all these things and all. Then he blessed her that he will be giving her an opportunity to have darshan very soon. And she was praying to the Lord, when is that day? Because I have become old. I cannot travel. Because when she got to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Vishwambara is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the Lord Jagannatha's representation, she could not walk. She is so old. She is saying, my eyesight is fading away, my body is not supporting. When will I be able to have your darshan? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see at the age of 16 to 20 years, when Jagannath Mishra passed away, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets married, Lakshmi Devi, the first wife. He, in the name of earning money, he goes to Bangladesh. So at that time, he visited his grandmother. So he went and knocked the door. A beautiful boy with long hair, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he said, who are you? He said, I am your grandson, son of Jagannath Mishra. I am Vishwambar Mishra. Then, no, you are not my grandson. What I saw in my vision is a sannyasi. You are a fellow with full hair, all these things and all. Then she is not believing that he is her grandson. So what to make you to satisfy? No, the vision I had is a sannyasi. It is not in this form. Then you do one thing. You lock me up in your altar room for 7 days. After that, you will be able to have darshan of what is your desired form. So she put Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the room, locked up, and Kirtan started. The divine Kirtan started in such a way, the whole village is hearing sound, but they don't know where is that sound coming from. And she went into ecstasy. She was standing still at the door, hearing to that Kirtana, closing her eyes, completely in meditation. All the people came to their house and asking, where is that Kirtan coming from? She is not in that external consciousness. She was thinking of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that divine Kirtan, and she was absorbed in Lord Jagannatha. After 4 days, she could not tolerate the vision. She immediately opened the door, made a beautiful garland, and the vision, what she saw, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a sannyasi dress, and all his associates standing there and chanting and dancing. As soon as she saw, opened the door, all the associates vanished. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in that mood, as what he had blessed her as a sannyasi, had given her darshan and said, now do you remember me? Am I your grandson? Then she lovingly came forward, put a beautiful garland on him, and she started hugging Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and she fell unconscious because of ecstasy. So when she opened her eyes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there on her lap, but this time as a sannyasa deity. The first deity manifested by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyasa deity. And the speciality of this deity is his eyes will be like Lord Jagannath, circle eyes. Chakadola it is called. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the first deity which is manifested in a Chakadola eyes. So in that way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave mercy to her and came back. So Lord is merciful not only to the demons, he is merciful to his devotees also. So that the devotees get more associated with him, more connected with him, more devoted to him. Okay, thank you all of you. It is manifested in a Chakadola eyes. See that way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave mercy to her and came back. So Lord is merciful not only to the demons, he is merciful to his devotees also. So that. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Class was very nice, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hari Bol, Prabhu. Nice video.